Hey, it's Jade Brooke back again. Little preface. I have read this book before, and it's a really good book, but it's been years since I've read it, and I just feel it's time to go back and reevaluate it. And I wanted to share a little tidbit because I think it's really important and actually, um, anyways, today's video. We're gonna talk about being impeccable with your word or your words. It's Toltec wisdom, the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Such a good book. I am already to the second agreement, which is don't take anything personal. But today we're just gonna solely talk about be impeccable with your word. In a sense, it does kind of go off of my last video, because in the last video we talked about life and death is in the tongue, speaking truth, speaking love, and being impeccable with your word is the same thing. And it's, not denying yourself and not denying love and truth, because you want to speak love and truth for, the heaven on earth versus like the hell on earth. But anyway, so be impeccable with your word. And I'm actually going to read like the first page of the chapter, because when it's already been said so perfectly, why try to reinvent the wheel? But to give a little taste of what this chapter, or what be impeccable with your word was about, is speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use the power of your word and the direction of truth and love. Kind of already just said that. But yeah, my last video was talking about, in a sense, being impeccable with your word. If you're going to share words of wisdom, make sure it's shared with truth and love. None of this black magic stuff. They call it spelling for a reason. We're casting a spell, and it's all about being conscious and mindful. So like, I listened to a podcast, Aubrey Marcus had a guest on, and she was talking about the power of our words and the magic behind them, whether it's white magic or black magic, and, spelling. She was very, very poetic. It's beautiful. But like, in our English language or whatever, we're spelling out the words, or cast a spell. So when you do speak, you're casting spells. So there's the magic behind it of black or white. And obviously if it's white, then it's love and truth. And if it's black, then it's fear and lies. We don't want to be in fear and lies. We don't want to be in hell. And we don't want to bring other people down if we're in hell. And we don't want to force other people into hell or project our garbage onto people. Like, that's really not. If you're a true, genuine human being, you really don't want to do that. So it's all about being conscious and mindful. So we're here to grow and evolve, okay? So here I am. I've already read this book, but I want to share it again because I'm being called to read it again. I think when you can go back to things and read books or read things or listen to things, and you gain more knowledge because, you missed it. You can't obtain everything in one instance, especially when it's so full of wisdom. Anyways, let me find the chapter. I don't remember how many years ago it's been since I've read this book, but I remembered the Four Agreements, and I know we have to speak life. Speak life. My last video was saying what you say and what you do matters. We're held accountable. Law of the universe, law of God. We're held accountable. So speak. I really like the saying, say what you mean and mean what you say. Be impeccable with your word. I'm going to read the chapter. I found it. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend the level of existence I call heaven on earth. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, again, more Bible, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the Word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the Word. The Word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The Word is a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. You can speak what other animal on the planet can speak. The word is the most powerful tool you have as a human. It is the tool of magic. But like a sword with two edges, your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. I really want to recommend everybody read this book. It's really good. We're here for growth and evolution, to evolve. I believe that when we come into this earth plane, we come from a source of love and light, our creator, our source. And that's love. That's our divine birthright, is love and truth. When I say love, I always have to say truth, because I think in our world today, in society, in the illusion that we live in, so much is predicated on lies, and it's not, okay? So many people are suffering in an earthly hell. We really are. We are not being impeccable with our words or our actions. Truth. Oh my gosh, I just can't. Truth is so important. It sets you free. It really does. And it's actually interesting in the book, there was a part where he broke down impeccable in Latin terms. So like peccable is sin and is without. So being impeccable is without sin. Sin is this is a new perspective too, and I thought it was interesting, but sin is anything you do which goes against yourself. And I want to preface that, because if you go against yourself, you go against God. So remember that always. We are not separate from our creator. We're not separate from truth and love then, but we have free will. So we have the choice within our actions and our words and our feelings and our thoughts. It's free will. So that's how we can choose the white magic or the black magic, the good or the evil, the love or the lies. And through our domestication from childhood, a lot of the stuff that we're programmed with is just BS lies. It's fear blessed upon us by those around us in our childhood. Church, teachers, family, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, moms, dads. And it's not a blame thing. It's not about blaming them. It's just taking ownership and power back in your life and saying, I don't agree. That's simple. In the book, it actually continues to talk about that. Somebody can come up and to you and say, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, but you don't have to agree with it. What I want to share with this is that we are being conscious and mindful that we are spreading white magic with our words. We are spreading truth and love with our words. We're being impeccable with our words. We don't control anybody else but ourselves. We pray and do penance. We pray, as if it's already happened, and calling it into existence, thanking God, Great Spirit, the universe, for turning souls back to love and truth. for thanking Great Spirit for embodying and blessing us with love and truth always. When you are responsible for your actions and you take responsibility, you don't judge or blame yourself. Kind of in a way, it's void of shame. It's as if it's saying, it is what it is. What's done is done. But I'm going to move forward with grace and truth, to do better. Back to my video I last shared. So you sin. So you did wrong. I don't remember the verse. But if you go back, you'll remember the verse. I don't think it's necessary that you have to remember the verse. But just know, when you do wrong, you have to hold yourself accountable. And we will. Other people will hold you accountable too. We can't have this enabling and denial stuff. It's dangerous. It's living in a personal hell. We don't want that. We don't want lies. We want truth and love. So be in a place of truth and love within yourself. Again, going back to being conscious and mindful. It takes effort. Life takes effort. It's not just going to come with ease. That's not life. We have to be disciplined. We have to do the work. And I don't know about anybody else. There's probably something in your life that somebody says, oh, that's so much hard work. I couldn't do that. I love to garden. I love gardening. I really do. I could be out there all day, busting my butt. It's quote unquote hard work. It takes a lot of effort, I won't lie. But I love it. It brings me so much joy. Same thing kind of as a parent, but I probably gripe about parenthood a little bit more than I should. I'm mindful, I'm conscious, I'm working on it. But I love gardening. And there are people that when I speak about my garden or gardening, they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. I'd rather not. I absolutely love it. It brings me so much peace, so much joy. So again, I'm going to do the work in my life to be in a state of love and truth with my words, with my actions, with my thoughts and my feelings. And I know it's not always easy. He said it's very difficult because it is. We're programmed. So we got to be conscious and mindful to unlearn, to relearn what is truthful. There are agreements that I agreed to as a child that I don't want to agree to anymore. So I'm working on that. I'm doing the work to heal myself, to become more enlightened, to be back in the state of as much grace as possible with Source Creator, with God, as I was when I came into this world, or when I incarnated. That's the journey. That's the journey. One thing I want to say though, it's kind of like the pain teacher. Paul Chek talks about the pain teacher. Pain is to teach us. Pain comes in our lives to teach us, to grow, to evolve us. Again, I cannot speak enough on how we're here for growth and evolution, to evolve. We really, really are. And it's actually a beautiful thing. You know, we live in a world where we want to pump pills and avoid and distract and, depression medication, anxiety medication. We have so many addictions, whether it's smoking, eating, drinking, whatever. Toxic relationships, that's an avoidance thing. We bounce from relationship to relationship, thinking that somebody else is going to fulfill us. No. No. It has to begin with you. Your cup has to be full before it can runneth over. You have to heal from your traumas. I believe a good relationship is when two people can come together and each individual has healed to a point where they enter into that relationship with the commitment that they are going to continue to do the healing work together for more growth, for more evolution, because things will come up. You're never there. You're always here. And we're on a growth and evolution journey until the day you die. And then your soul will continue on. Kind of want to wrap it up. Your opinion comes from your beliefs, your own ego, and your own dream. It's not necessarily true because of the agreements you made with somebody else. Be impeccable with your word. Affirm, I am impeccable with my word. Use the word in the correct way to share love. Use your words and your actions. You be a human being to share love and truth. It's okay if we all have limited belief systems, old paradigms, broken systems that do not serve us. When we're doing the self-healing, when we're working on ourselves, when we're being conscious and mindful, we can go inward and focus within ourselves, come back to ourselves, come back to source. God is within us. We're not separate. So we come back to source. We come back to center. And we do that healing work to be in love and truth, to be impeccable with our words, to not take anything personal. That's the second agreement. Do not take anything personal. You take it personal because you agree with whatever is said. Stop agreeing with things that don't serve you. Come back to center. Come back to source. I'll finish with, when you are sharing or just being, whether you're with yourself or others, be impeccable with your word. Be conscious and mindful. What are you saying? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Is it truthful? Is it honest? Is it loving? Don't be a victim. That's going to be my next video, actually. Unless I continue with the 4 agreements. But I think you get the picture. I think if you really want to know the other 3 agreements and you want to grow and evolve yourself, you will pick up the book or the audio and do the work. But yeah, victimizing ourselves is going to be, or not victimizing ourselves is going to be the next one, because I had to debate, am I going to go with be impeccable with your word, or am I going to go with victimhood? Because both need to be spoken on. You're not a victim. You might have been victimized at one point in time, but you're not a victim. We create our life with our words. Life and death is in the tongue. I said it in the video. Maybe I won't. I'll work on the victim one, because I think it needs to be spoken on. When we don't see ourselves as victims, we can transcend anything. Know your power, know your worth, know where you come from, know your creator. Yeah, all those kind of things. I truly believe it's all relevant. It all comes full circle. And that's why I love circles, is they can have infinite points on them. And it's continuous. What goes out comes back. Sometimes, tenfold. I was told that as a kid. What you put out there comes back to you tenfold. Be impeccable with your word. Speak truth. Speak love. If you have messed up, or if you are messing up, again, or even if you're not, you're a good person, I don't know. However you want to put that one. Always, no matter what place you're at, state in life you are at, come back to yourself, come back to center, come back to God, get centered, get conscious, get mindful, do the work. Make sure you are coming from a state of love and truth. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make yourself a victim. That's going to be the next one, I think. Don't hold me to that. It'll be in there somewhere. Okay, so before I go, I don't think I've made this point clear enough, so I want to just come back to it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Abracadabra, as we speak, so we create. Life and death is in the tongue. Be impeccable with your word. Make sure what you're saying is true. Make sure what you're saying, you want it to be true. That's where I wanted to get. Oh my gosh. Mind slowly working. If you're speaking, when you're speaking, or thinking or feeling, make sure you want that to be true. It's another form of being impeccable with your word. It's not only making sure it's true or false, but if you have power and life and death is in the tongue, and as you speak, so you create. Create through your words, through your actions, through your thoughts and your feelings, what you want to see, what you want to feel, what you want to experience. I believe that God will grace you, will answer your prayers if you are in alignment with God's will, the will of the universe, and it's in love and truth. I think I need to say that again. Ask and you shall receive. But I also have a caveat to that, like the double edge of the sword, the duality. You can ask for things, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to receive it because it might not be in alignment with God's will. There might be something that God needs to teach you or that you might need to understand to grow and evolve. You have to be, and if you're asking for things out of fear and out of lies, more likely the answer is going to be no, because I feel like lies and fear, you're in alignment with no, 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 no. And love and truth, God's will, divinity, you're in alignment with yes, 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 yes. Because what's good, love and truth, in alignment for you, yourself, would be in alignment for all. So when we're not only just speaking, thinking, feeling, thoughts, actions, may it be speaking life as in it's what you want to experience. Again, it goes back to breaking those agreements, breaking those limited belief systems, those paradigms. They were blessed upon you. You have them. They're in your subconscious mind. Disagree with them. Say no. I made a little video clip about it. When people say no, people get worked up. Thank you. We have to be impeccable with our word. Say no when necessary and say yes when we mean it. Be in a state of love and truth. Is it truthful for you? Is it going to benefit you, benefit others? Love and truth. Speak it into existence. Life and death is in the tongue. I know I keep repeating it, but it's necessary. It has to be repeated. We have to keep reiterating that. We're breaking old patterns. And in order to break an old pattern, repetition. We learn through repetition. So if we learned, sometimes trauma, fear can just strike you like a thunderbolt and it's ingrained in you. But may this love and truth strike you like a thunderbolt and you just disagree no longer. If you have to, repetition. If you're speaking and putting words out there, if you're doing things, you're living. If you're living, we're living. So you're alive. You're watching this video. I'm going to wrap it up, I promise. Be impeccable with your word. Speak truth. Speak love. Don't play victim. Stay away from people who are in fear and lies. Of course, you don't want that around you. If you have to be involved with them in some way, shape, or form, don't take it personal. You don't have to agree with what they say or what they do, especially if you know that it's out of lies, out of fear, that they're not being impeccable with their words, with their thoughts, with their actions, with their feelings, that there's a fly, that they are denying their truth, that they're living in an illusion. Make sure you're not living in the illusion, that you're not lying to yourself and denying yourself. Again, my last video was in regards to things that we put on social media. And I didn't totally disagree, but I wanted to clarify. A form of being impeccable with our words. A half truth is a lie. Because if it's not all truth, then throw it out. Rectify it. Yeah. Speak life. Choose the white magic, not the black magic. Be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable. Make sure you're coming out of a place of love and truth. I cannot stress it enough. Truth, 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 truth. Actually, oh, what is the book? It's by Paul Selig. Oh my goodness, what is the title? Something knowing. I might come on my next video and be like, this is why I remembered it. Paul Selig had a really good one and it actually liberated me. Like, you wouldn't believe. I was going through a really dark time and I read this book and I was just like, wow. The Book of Knowing, I think. On my next video, I'll clarify and I'll share it, or maybe I'll make a short or something. When you know your truth and divinity, you know where you come from. It's very powerful. I think that's what's wrong with the world and society is we're sleeping. And he actually talked about in the book that we live in a world built off of lies and illusion, the illusion of lies, that we're predicated, that this world, so much of our society and our paradigms are just not true. And I actually believe that when it comes to people not knowing where they come from and who and what they are. We come from God, source, creator. We're not separate from that. Being separate from God is an illusion. We are all connected, not even from God, but each other. We are connected. So what I do impacts the whole. What you do impacts the whole. So be impeccable. Be impeccable with your word. Make sure you are sharing out of truth and love. And you don't have to, if you mess up or whatever, because we all do, again, it's about being conscious and mindful. Don't shame and blame yourself and judge yourself. Okay, I put it out there. I did this. I said that. I felt this. I felt that. It's done. It's over. It's the past. You can't change it. You can't go backwards. But move forward with grace and truth, coming back to space, coming back to source. Do your repentance, do your praying, and do better. We got to be working to do better. Putting that effort into coming back to our source, our creator, and our divinity of truth and love. I've said it a lot. You're probably annoyed by it already. Maybe not. Who cares? Maybe I will be too. I don't know. Anyways, be impeccable with your word. Create and speak life. As you speak, so you create. Life and death is in the tongue. Make sure what you put out and who you be is in a state of love and truth. Have a good day.